the other day, the Satipatthana, dealing with first of all the Kaya-nupassana Satipatthana, contemplation of the body, the practice of the contemplation of the body. And out of these four Satipatthana, we dealt with this Kaya-nupassana Satipatthana. Now is the turn to deal with the remaining contemplations, namely Vijnana-nupassana Satipatthana, contemplation of feelings, Chitta-nupassana Satipatthana, contemplation of a mind, noting the mind as mind, and Dhammanupassana Satipatthana, contemplation of Dhamma or general objects, which we shall discuss both from the theoretical and practical aspects. Since we are all practicing Satipatthana, perhaps we are all aware of the Satipatthana, about Satipatthana. Some of you might not have heard. Those who have not heard can hear it, and those who have already heard can also listen again to be more clear or to be clearer. Buddha himself has given this Satipatthana discourse everywhere, in many places, in various ways, and it's never monotonous, never boring. However, those who are going to digest the Satipatthana may be like taking, say, brown bread, in the beginning. Of course, most of you are used to taking brown bread. But in the beginning, for instance, as far as when we go abroad, we are confronted with this brown bread instead of the white one. Our friend said, white ones are trash, no good. So I said, I like trash. Because we are used to white ones here. Brown bread is nutritious. It has many, many things. Nobody knows what they are. But they say brown bread is good. In the beginning, it's not tasty. But later, if you find difficulty, but later as you go on chewing it, and you see the literature, so people talk that it's nutritious, and since you want to be healthy, okay, experts say it's good, so we must take it. And that becomes tasty later on. And you want brown bread only. And you don't even stock white ones. So we don't find white ones in Western houses. So then when they found that brown bread is tasty and good, nutritious, they don't want others. So too with the Satipatthana. Before the practice of Satipatthana, they may not like to digest it. They may think it's very bitter, trash. But then later on they find it good. And so Satipatthana is the same thing. First of all, it will be difficult. But later on, as you go on practicing, like taking brown bread, you take it warm, you just toast it, and make it tasty. And also when you are hungry, then it will be more tasty. So too with the Satipatthana. When you are hungry, needing Satipatthana, and later you find it very tasty. Now Vedana is feeling or sensations of three kinds. As for Satipatthana practitioner, they are bound to feel unpleasant things, experience unpleasant feeling, that is pain, or pleasant feeling at other times, and at other times neutral feeling, both in the body and the mind. This unpleasant feeling can be manifested as tiredness, pain, ache, and so on. All these things, unpleasant feelings. can be experienced by the yogis. And these unpleasant feelings are quite obvious for the yogis, for the practitioners. So they are unbearable and known as dukkha vedana, meaning unpleasant feeling. At other times, one may experience good feeling, that is sukha vedana, where sense of well-being, both in the body and the mind. The body feeling light, calm, good, comfortable, and such kind of feeling is called sukha vedana, pleasant sensation or feeling. At other times, one may experience neither unpleasant nor pleasant, neither pain nor pleasure, neither dukkha nor sukha, neutral, known as adukkha masukha vedana. Neither unpleasant nor pleasant feeling. And this kind of feeling is neither good nor bad. It is not very obvious feeling, this neutral feeling. For the beginners, they might feel it, but unconsciously, not obviously. They may have this kind of feeling in the body and the mind. In the text is shown that this adukkha masukha, neither unpleasant nor pleasant feeling, is known as upekha vedana, equanimity. It's difficult to express as it is like this or like that. It's difficult to demonstrate, like an object in the dark, difficult to see. But it will become obvious, it will become experience in the course of the practice, like when you're walking, just simple walking, lifting, moving and praising, and you see some few things on the roadside, like pebbles, stones, sand or grass, you're passing by, and you don't take interest in it, they don't arouse your interest in any way. It's a kind of in a casual scene. This is kind of neutral feeling, not so obvious feeling, such as adukkha masukha vedana or upekha vedana, which happens both in the body and the mind. In ordinary language, we can call these three kinds of feelings as painful feeling, good feeling, and neutral feeling. This can also, the first two things are very obvious, that is painful and pleasant feeling. And out of these two, the dukkha vedana, unpleasant sensation, is more obvious, especially those who are practicing to cultivate insight. It is said in the text that dukkha vedana, one is close to dukkha vedana. That means dukkha vedana tends to arise in the practitioners practicing to cultivate knowledge. Once you are able to concentrate your mind, then you start feeling some itchy, as though some worms are moving around you, moving on the face, an itchy, irritating feeling. Although it's nothing actually, some irritating feeling. Actually, when you look at it, open your eyes, you won't see anything, just irritation. But for you, it can affect you. You are so much affected with this because you are concentrated. Your mind is calm and concentrated. So when you have a slight feeling of irritation, that can be very much exaggerated, so to break your heart even. That's why it is said that a Vipassana practitioner is very close to Dukkha Vedana, or Dukkha Vedana is close to Vipassana yogi. And as for Samatha, tranquility meditation, when you concentrate your mind, since you are noting or watching observing the conceptual object, you're calming your mind is calm, there's a feeling of chills and thrills and popping up and all these good feelings during samatha practice. And in this case, you feel very good. So good feeling is very close to samatha practitioner. In this way, for those who are cultivating, Vipassana yogis cultivating insight, such as the knowledge of the discernment of mind and body and their conditionality, the universal characteristics. Once your mind is concentrated, as Kanika Samadhi, momentary concentration, then you can feel all these things, irritation and things like that, tiredness and itchiness, become very obvious in the body. That is experiencing this dukkha vedana, unpleasant sensation. Then you note as such as pain or tiredness or irritation or itchiness. Such is the practice of the contemplation of feelings, Vedana-Nupassana Satipatthana, in keeping with the Buddha's teachings, that when you note such things as they arise, then you note it correctly and you note it closely in order to observe these feelings as such. When this Vedana, this feeling, is experienced either in the body or the mind, you just note it, contemplate it, note it closely and correctly. That is what it is, what is meant by contemplating. So that it becomes like a jhana, one-pointedness. As is given that noting the mind closely and correctly, so that it falls one-pointed on the object, is known as jhana, absorption. Whether it's good or bad, you just note closely, coherently. That is given by the expression, by the word upa, closely. And ni is fully, completely. And jhana is become absorbed or note so as to be one-pointed on the object. As regards the obvious object, if it's unbearable object, you just note closely and correctly, so as to qualify as jhana, one-pointedness. So with the consummation of energy, you just note, as is given last time, as we discussed, as atapi, this expression atapi, consummation of the heat of energy. Applying heroic energy with alertness, wakefulness, diligence, without shrinking, without cowardliness. And there must be this full exertion of energy in order to note the object correctly. Such is atapi. You apply energy, driving force, in order to drive your noting mind towards the object, so that the noting mind is anchored into the object. There must be this driving force to note it. And you do it repeatedly. That is what is meant by contemplating or noting repeatedly, closely, right, correctly. So that the noting mind, the mindfulness is sustained on the object. And as much as the noting mind is sustained my mindfulness, then the noting mind will be anchored into the object. as much as you apply this energy, then the mind will not go elsewhere. There will be no wandering of the mind, no restlessness, no distraction, giving rise to samatha, calmness, or concentration. In this case, khanika samadhi, momentary concentration. As the khanika samadhi, momentary concentration, is energized, then you are bound to become aware of this vedana, feeling or sensation, good or bad. So you just sustain your mindfulness, as the expression goes, samajano, satima, or satima samajano. Fully aware, mindfulness and fully aware. You note it. And as you apply energy, you sustain mindfulness, deepen concentration, and cultivate panya. All these things follow automatically as you apply energy. Hence this Viryasama Sati Samadhi, application of Viryasama Sati Samadhi, is Nupassana, contemplation or noting closely and correctly. When you are thus concentrate your mind in this way, then this samatha happens, calmness, tranquility. At that moment there will be no raga, craving. Now it sounds odd when you are feeling unbearable, you are craving. Because you are experiencing unpleasant sensation, you crave for pleasant sensation. You long for pleasant sensation. You want to be comfortable. You want to overcome this and experience good feeling. You look forward to that. That is craving, raga. Such is an emotion, a negative emotion. This happens with this samatha. At that time, when you have this, for those who are not patient, cannot tolerate, lacks patience, those who lack patience, can be affected with this dosa, anger, because it's unbearable. And because of the application of energy, mindfulness and concentration, khanika samadhi, there cannot be this dissatisfaction or ill will or anger, because you are cultivating this khanika samadhi, momentary concentration, bringing about samatha. At the same time, there will be no other impurities arising in your stream of consciousness, because you are not craving for sensual pleasures, kamichandas, and you are not moved by these unbearable sensations, mental distress, as regards unbearable physical pain. And because you are applying energies, consummating energy, exerting energy, there will be no sloth and torpor. That means there will be no exhaustion of energy, or not wishing to exert energy. There will be no such thing as not wishing to exert energy. That means that's sloth. And torpor, not getting exhausted. You won't get exhausted because you are exerting energy. And instead, you have this heroic energy to face, to challenge any eventualities. You want to face them. You don't want to withdraw or shrink like a cowardly person. Now this dukkha vedana analysis, you exert energy so that there will be no slackness, slackness and exhaustion of energy. Because of the sati samadhi, mind is concentrated. There will be no distraction, no wandering, and no restlessness, no worry. And initially, you have understood the benefits of the practice of Satipatthana, and you have faith in it, so that you don't entertain any skeptical doubts. So you are not moved by this emotion in terms of skeptical doubt. In this way you are free from these negative emotions, that is such as samatha. And these negative emotions are opposite states, patipaka or vipassanika. They are the enemies of skillfulness, enemies of good things, good deeds. When you are enemies of the high level and the good deeds as a result of the high level meditation. There's no emotional feeling, negative emotions. You are calm instead, without any disturbances, such as samatha. And as you concentrate your mind, you are bound to see things in their true nature. That is the characteristics and qualities of dukkha virana. Dukkha virana, anatta puddhapa, that is unbearable or painful, unpleasant feeling. You will come to understand first the natural characteristics sabhava lakkhana, that this kind of feeling is disagreeable, not agreeable to you, because you are feeling in your body as anatta puddhapa, that is unpleasant sensation, bodily sensation. That is the natural characteristic of this dukkha virana. So you come to become aware of this natural characteristic when you note. This is knowing the true nature. Then because of this unbearable sensation, your mind cannot be clear, there will be no happiness, no clarity, and the same thing with the associated mental states. All your mental state, associated mental states which associate with dukkha virana, also cannot be clear, cannot be bright. They are weakened. They are not so bright. They are weakened, and this is their function, the function or rasa of dukkha virana, causing the mind to weaken, causing the mind to lose brightness, not to shine bright, and that is the function of this dukkha virana rasa. So when you note carefully, you are bound to become aware of this quality of dukkha virana. And this is the rasa. And then when you, as you note that you come to feel, it will become manifested in your mind that this unbearable sensation is torturing you, torturing your body, making you feel unbearable, excruciating. When will it end? That sort of thing. You tend to think, you tend to worry. When will this unbearable sensation, stiffness in my legs and feet and all that sort of thing, when will this end? Where will the end of it? So you are worrying about it. In this way, this dukkha virana is torturing you. And such is the manifestation. It becomes manifested in your mind, and this is another quality of dukkha virana. So in this way, as you activate your mindfulness, you are bound to see one of these three characteristics, the qualities: sabhava lakkhana, natural characteristic; function or manifestation. This such as the contemplation of feeling, Dhammanupassana, Satipatthana. Just knowing this by noting dukkha virana, any of these knowing these qualities, such as the sabhava lakkhana, natural characteristics, is given as sampajanya, coming from the sampajano. Sampajano is knowing or awareness, is not through hearsay or imagination or from the teachers, from the books, As samjana means experiential knowledge, empirical knowledge, knowing it through your own personal experience, such is given by the samjana. When you know it from your thoughts, it can be right, it can be wrong. Now you are seeing the torturing nature of the dukkha vedana, all these qualities, that is knowing the truth, that is samjana, knowing correctly. When you note carefully, you know it fully. You are aware of this unbearable, unpleasant feeling fully and or completely, in its entirety. That is given by samjana. That is samjana from all angles. That means completely. And such is not from the books or hearsay. This is extraordinary, unusual, extraordinary, unique understanding, unique awareness. This is given by the pajanya, unique or extraordinary awareness. And it's not just being, not knowing just one thing, knowing a variety of things when you note carefully. As much as you activate mindfulness, you are bound to know a variety of things, and in a discriminating manner. That is given by the pajanya. When you combine these things, it becomes sampajanya. That is knowing by yourself, discriminatingly, in a variety of ways, completely, correctly, and completely and correctly. Knowing by yourself, completely and correctly, and in a variety of ways, discriminatingly. Such is given by this expression, sampajanya. And the Buddha has given this expression so as to fit in with the experiential knowledge. And yogis can always test on the touchstone of personal experience. This is not just ordinary knowing, as not ordinary awareness. This will become obvious. In order to give rise to sampajanya, the Vedanas, there's feelings, noting of feelings. You exert your energy and sustain mindfulness. As you sustain mindfulness and concentrate your mind, you will not be moved by craving for better feelings, good feelings instead of unbearable feelings. And neither can be any ill will or anger or dissatisfaction about the unbearable pain that you are experiencing. Hence there will be no such negative emotions, and your mind will become calm and collected. Then you come to understand the qualities of these Vedana, feelings. And to know it, you note the suffering or feeling with patience. And even if you note, because you are not able to concentrate and cultivate penya, then your whole body you'll be feeling the whole body may be on fire, hot, getting heated up. And that is how you are affected. And you'll be sweating, perspiration, feeling very tired, exhausted, unbearable. All these things will happen one after another. At that time, you become restless. You want to change your posture, change your sitting position. But instead of changing, if you continue to note, then your Sati Samadhi Panya will become more and more improved. And until you are able to see only the dukkha vedana, just the pain as pain. So there will be only not the location of the pain. You will see just the sensation, dukkha vedana, and not the location. You will not be able to identify where it is located. So there will be only two things: this dukkha vedana, pain, and your noting mind, or the noting mind and the pain, and all parts of the body may disappear. You may not feel the parts of the body, so that there will be no such thing as I, ego. There will be no identity of I. No such thing as I. There will be only this feeling and noting mind. This such as seeing the natural, the individual essences, sabhavas. So your perseverance will become very strong. Your patience, there will be more and more patience, tolerance, so that you enjoy noting this pain. And that this is quite tasty. You will feel the flavor of your pain, calling this pain as pleasant pain, as some yogis tend to report. At that time, you are able to withstand so much pain that you come to challenge any unbearable sensation, anything, let it come. I'll just note that sort of thing. Your perseverance you become more and more persevere. You'll be able to persevere, and you'll be able to control. Why is that? The reason is sambhajanya. That is noting awareness by yourself, your experiential personal awareness, empirical knowledge, knowing discriminately in a unique way and in a variety of ways, correctly, fully. Why is that? Because your mind is concentrated. And why is that concentrated? Because you are sustaining your mindfulness. Why is your mindfulness sustained? Because you are exerting energy. And you come to understand this linkage of cause and effect. And what is unique is you will want to challenge any eventuality. Let any pain come. I won't bother. Not like before. You have such courageous mind. You become very heroic. For those who are practicing this Dhammanupassana Satipatthana, noting this dukkha vedana, unpleasant sensations arise in the body, they are not just contemplating feeling, Dhammanupassana Satipatthana. At the same time, it is tantamount to practicing other contemplations, other Satipatthanas. Let us say in the body, the heat, your whole body is on fire. Then when noting this heat in the body, is Dhammanupassana Satipatthana, contemplation of the body as body. Then there will be this heat is tejo dhatu, the element of temperature. You are knowing the element of temperature. That is Dhammanupassana Satipatthana. At times you have a prickly feeling as though something is piercing you, stabbing you. And this is also knowing this Dhammanupassana Satipatthana, Prithvi Dhatu, becoming aware of this element of earth, Prithvi Dhatu, hardness, harshness, and things like that. At times you'll be sweating, all the liquid coming out of exudation. This is cohesive, cohesive elements, liquidity element, and this is Apo Dhatu, the element of liquidity, or the element of water, Bodhidhatu, a branch of Dhammanupassana, Satipatthana, contemplation of the body as body. And at times you have this solidity, solid feeling, and that is also manifestation of Bodhidhatu, the element of liquid or water. And all these things will be known at the same time. And tiredness, weariness, the feeling in the body is contemplation of feeling, or Dhammanupassana, Satipatthana. And in respect of these things, there will be a lot of mental feelings and emotions. All these things will be known as you note carefully. And such as how you can contemplate other things, Satipatthana, by contemplating Vedana. Just with the practice of Dhammanupassana, Satipatthana, at the same time you are also practicing, you are said to be practicing other Vedana, other Nupassana, that is other contemplation, other Satipatthanas, to cultivate knowledge. That is because this atapi is involved, the heat of energy is involved, and then with the heat of energy there is the sustained mindfulness, and there's no mind falls calm and collected. That is samatha, tranquility, calmness. All these mental powers will be cultivated while you are practicing this Dhammanupassana, Satipatthana. Hence the teachers always exhort yogis to note any feeling good or bad with patience, and then with just noting this in one sitting, you will be contemplating all sorts of mindfulness, Satipatthana. As you cultivate concentration and knowledge, according to Dukkha Vedana, Anitta Bodhapa, this Anitta Bodhapa, unpleasant feeling or sensation, is also subject to impermanence and nature. They arise, it arises and passes away. So when this Dukkha Vedana is gone, there will be Etta, the opposite feeling, Etta Bodhapa, pleasant or good feeling, called Sukha Vedana, pleasant sensation. And the natural characteristics, Sabhava Lakkhana, of this Sukha Vedana is Sukha, this good feeling. Etta Bodhapa is Sukha, pleasure or pleasantness, pleasantness or pleasure. You feel light and clear, comfortable. Because of a good feeling, comfortable feeling, the mind shines bright and fresh. And this is the how this Sukha Vedana, good feeling, causes its associated mental states to become bright and clear and fresh. So that in the body there is only good feeling, pleasant feeling, and you just think to yourself, how nice it is, I feel so good. And such is the Sukha Vedana. At that time, just like when you note with energy and sustained mindfulness, when you feel unbearable in your body, so that you calm your mind, so too when you have a good feeling, you should also apply energy and sustain your mindfulness. Otherwise, you become restless by thinking that this is so good, and previously I didn't experience such things. Now it is very good, so good, and let it happen. I want this, and you become attached to it, and that sort of thinking will arise. That is raga, craving. And also this is a kind of craving, negative emotion, and also you are worried that this good feeling may disappear. That also Vyabhara Nivarana, a hindrance of ill will. So when such things happen, you become restless, and there will not be calmness, collectedness as regards this sukha vedana, good feeling. And then you will not become aware of the qualities of this sukha vedana, a good feeling. There will be no samajanya arising in you. That is clear, full understanding of the feelings. You'll be just noting and ordinary concentration. And there will be no knowledge or full awareness of the qualities of good feeling, sukha vedana. So when it is good feeling, just note as it is, good feeling. Otherwise, you might cling to it, because if you're not, ignorance brings about attachment, as the saying goes. Ignorance brings about attachment, and knowing overcomes attachment. So that your attachment, you become attached to good feeling if you don't note. Every time this feeling arises in your mind, Aita Vedana, Anaita Vedana, or neutral, neither good nor bad feeling, you just note every time, because every time a good thing arises, good object arises, there will be good feeling. Every time you are confronted with the bad ones, there will be bad feeling, bad sensations, and with neutral objects there will be neutral feeling. Either one or the other, one of these things will arise in your mind, one of these feelings will arise in your mind, and whenever they arise, you just note as such. So that there will be no such thing as a phassa picca vedana. With contact as condition, there arises feeling. There will be no such thing. Good thing is to be noted as just good, and bad thing is to be noted as just bad, and neutral is noted just as mere neutral. Now, if you are not noting them with the method of Satipatthana, the practice of Satipatthana, then with the feeling there will arise this craving. With feeling as condition, there arises this craving, and from this craving, with craving as condition, there can arise this upadana, clinging or grasping, and so on. All will continue like this throughout, from vedana to tanha and upadana and so on, from feeling to craving and grasping and clinging. So as not to let this chain of emotions arise, you just insert or practice Satipatthana. Just put in Satipatthana. Insert Satipatthana. So whenever these feelings arises, just note steadfastly. And if you don't know what will happen, this dukkha sukham patiyati, that's the expression. If you have pain or unbearable feeling, you will crave for good feeling. Dukkha sukham patiyati. That is a kind of tanha, craving. Because you have bad feeling, you crave for good feeling. So that you are bringing about this tanha, another negative emotion, craving. If, on the other hand, if you note to cultivate samajanya, clear awareness with your own experience, your personal knowledge, and cultivating this viriya, asati, samadhi, panya, all these mental powers, then in the place of tanha, you can just put Satipatthana. Try to replace tanha with Satipatthana, and Satipatthana will take the place of tanha. As this viriya, asati, samadhi, panya take the place of tanha, there will be no tanha, no craving. And if there is no tanha, no craving, there will be no clinging. I mean serious craving. Clinging or grasping is serious, great, serious kind of craving. and this also will not arise. If there's no tanha, there will be no upadana. And also this another expression, sukhe payo bihti. Whenever you have good feeling, you crave for better feeling again. That also is tantamount to tanha, craving. Because you're a good one, you want better and better ones. So whether it is good or bad, you must know it as it is, so that you are not, you don't become restless. Instead, you feel calm and collected. And so that instead of vedana as condition giving rise to tanha, with vedana as condition, there will arise only Satipatthana or panya. Wisdom will take the place of tanha. And of course, the neutral feeling, neither good nor bad feeling, is not obvious in an early stage. It will be only obvious at the higher insight knowledge, higher stages, where you feel very calm and good feeling, equanimity, and yogis tend to become attached to this in a subtle way, and because it's calm, good, calm feeling, not seeing any flaws about it. So instead of this virana picha tanha, just try to make virana picha panya. Virana as condition, there should arise panya. Panya to take the place of tanha. Every time good, bad or neutral feeling arises, you just note good as good or bad as bad or neutral as neutral, so that as regards in respect of bad feeling, you won't long or crave for good feeling. In respect of good feeling, you won't crave for better and better feeling. And instead of, in place of this calm, neutral feeling, you will not crave for more calm and more calmer and calmer feeling. So every time the feeling arises, you just note, and you now know the methods of practicing this Dhammanupassana Satipatthana. And what is the immediate benefit of contemplation of feeling? Every time you note and know the nature, you'll be free from these negative emotions, kilesas. There will be no chance of this tanha to arise, this weak tanha, weak craving. If there is no weak craving, there will be no strong, powerful craving. That means upadana. Because you are aware of the true nature of things, you are able to be free from this view of atta, self or soul. There's no such thing as a living entity. There's only just the nature, selfless, soulless, and no living entity, no substance, no abiding core. And there's no atta. All these things will become free. You become free of all these defilements, and you come to understand the method of noting the feeling as feeling, and the motive of this practice of Dhammanupassana Satipatthana is to be free from these defilements. That is your objective. So every time there's a feeling, you note and be free from these kilesas. And such is the description of Dhammanupassana Satipatthana. Sadhu.